But it's 100% her fault.
Oh, 100%.
Well, no, not 100%. He could have said no.
No, do you think Bob would be able to do his math in class if she was dressed like that in the classroom with him? No, these women need to cover up.
I don't agree with that, but
G.I. Joe.
Welcome, horrible people, to the Horrible Opinions podcast. And as always, I'm your awesome host, Kenny, who doesn't talk for this entire episode.
Oh, I was gonna say that I was your silent Daniel, because I'm like the one who doesn't talk.
But deadly.
I'm pouring gas on your gas, Ryan?
Oh no, we should read. Ryan shouldn't have said anything. He should have been silent.
That would have been better.
Ah.
But what I will say is, put your balls on, boys, because where are we going?
We're going to Willy's Wonderland!
Yeah!
We are, of course, doing 2021's One Night in Willy's Wonderland.
Wonderland?
Wonderland.
Or
Wonderland.
sleepover
Look,
at Chuck E. Cheese.
where we're going, only one man has gone before.
Who?
Mr. Nicolas Cage himself. We're going to get an hour and a half of Nic Cage, witty dialogue, crazy antics, being the Nic Cage we all know and love.
My favorite thing about Nic Cage is his voice.
Oh my god, it's so dreamy. Let's Willy do this, fellas. Give me that sweet synopsis, boys.
It's Five Nights at Freddy's.
Nailed it. Now, surely they wouldn't try to imply that the lore is somewhat similar too, would they? Like it's people's spirits trapped.
What is the lore of Five Nights at Freddy's?
It's too deep. We can't get into that.
There's like 5 hours of YouTube videos.
Okay,
you'd
surface
have to watch.
level. Is it
Look,
robots in Five Nights at Freddy's, or is it?
It's like haunted animatronics.
Exactly like that.
So
Look,
it's
my
exactly like
10-year-old
Willy.
Yes, my 10-year-old is currently asleep on the couch. Otherwise, I would go ask her, and she will tell you. There's a whole Larkin family, not the Arkin, the Lark.
It's really neat.
It is kind of cool, actually. It's pretty deep and dark. Like, she tells me I'm interested, but she's still too scared to play the actual games, which I've only played the first two. I don't think I beat either one of them.
I've just watched the lore videos.
I think they kind of suck.
As games?
Yeah.
Probably.
I haven't had fun. I'm bored.
So, Kenny, you saw this movie before?
Oh, yeah. I've
Okay.
watched this movie multiple times. I bought the vinyl for it because I love the soundtrack so much. I'm excited because I knew this is one of those cases where I picked a movie that I'd seen, you guys haven't, and I know it's a good movie. I don't care if you guys were going to like it or not, but I felt like you would.
He's trying to throw us right
But-
back to Cthulhu in the desert, Daniel.
In the desert.
But
my favorite
that
movie
being-
we've done.
It's a good movie. That being said, I also know that throughout this movie, one of the amusing things is Nic Cage doesn't talk at all, and it's also a really good movie where you're just like, what are we going to talk about? There's a lot of, we're going to have to just be describing kills. We're not going to be able to just chew up so much dumb dialogue and whatnot. Plus, the movie just goes. It's just good. Even when they lean into dumb stuff, this movie knows what it is. So it's
I
hard
would
for
like
us to
to
lampoon it.
theorize on Nic Cage's character's backstory.
The janitor?
Oh my god.
Okay.
Yes.
What is it?
So,
no, that's
look,
not a
here's the
theory,
thing.
Daniel.
Okay, I can give you my theory. All right, I'll give you my theory then.
Go
for it.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Go ahead. You go first.
Because I have lots of wants from this character in this universe.
I think he is a parent of one of the murdered kids, and he's come back to get revenge.
Nope, that's too personal. And he wouldn't have cared about his brakes. He would have just fucking killed him.
Well, okay, so I think he had to take the breaks because the punch juice is what is enabling him to be such a badass, because it's like super soldier serum, and it takes a certain amount of time to get in the bloodstream, and then it wears off after an hour, so then you have to go drink another one and then take 10 minutes while that seeps back into your bloodstream, and then you're ready to go.
Some of his breaks do come a lot quicker than others. No, I think this is just a case of like, here's this destructive force in this Willy's Wonderland, and here's another more destructive force just cruising through, and he gets thrown into this thing, and I said it way before the character said it. Oh no, he's not trapped in there with you. you're trapped in there with him. And then she literally says it later. And I remember I died laughing the first time I watched this when she said the line. And I loved it again here. I think he's just some badass guy. We don't know where he's fucking going. But I like to think that we keep making these movies and he just keeps running into these types of situations.
I would like to see this character fuck up, like
a haunted amusement park. Or he runs into like a...
He runs into the
situation.
alien, the xenomorphs, and he just fucking beats the shit out of them.
Yeah, his spaceship gets a fucking flat engine. He has to get out on this other spaceship to fucking repair it. And we don't explain why he's in space all of a sudden.
No. You don't.
He's just there. He's omnipresent. He's like a Doctor Who. He's another one of the Time Lords. And he's just fucking existing. And yeah, he just fucking casually cleaning up the fucking, what was the name of the ship?
He's a space janitor.
Wanator. And he fucks it up. And he goes through. Now, this is our, instead of running the pure slapstick, like straight man, like comedy duo, like Abbott Costello Meet the Monsters, I want the janitor just showing up and fucking up. And I want it to be all the very obvious ripoffs of the real things like this. Like, this isn't Jason, this is Frank, and he wears a more modern hockey mask. That's his thing. And here's this serial killer over here in Illinois, and he wears a bleached Spock mask. And we just clearly rip him off, but then he just fucks them all up, and it's gonna be great. He could be our modern day Ashley Williams.
What is your thoughts?
Once we learned why the robots were doing what they were doing, I thought that the silent hero was really some kind of priest who was doing a fighting exorcism on Willy's. Like, he is literally kicking ass for the Lord.
Uh-huh.
And he has to take these breaks.
Cool reference, bro.
Because the good Lord said to, always rest on Sundays or something like that. Or
it's like that.
Or it's because I like your idea that he has to power up after each one too.
Uh-huh.
And because he's doing an exorcism, he has to make sure that the demonic spirit is present and materialized in the vessel inside the animatronic for him to do it. That's why he stops one character from attacking one of them when it wasn't doing anything. The spirit has to be there and manifest in order for his kick-ass exorcism to work. That was my idea.
That's not my take.
Sure, but I'm gonna get nitpicky, and you can see that the animatronic, they're always moving,
but they're not always attacking.
But they're like, you can see them breathing. They're always moving.
Here's my thing. No, it's not that deep.
No, it wasn't. That was my thought, and by the end of the movie, I'm like, nope, that's not what was happening.
Yeah,
I want to make it more deep than it is.
Because if it's not attacking them, he's not going to attack it, because you see the mess it makes every time one of them...
That's true, he's just there to clean up.
He's trying to clean up. He fucking cleans the shit out of that place, and then fucking hydraulic fluid going everywhere every time he kills one of these things. Like, no, you're not... I'm cleaning this place up. You're not going to go over there and just do a little shake. Like, you just... Hold up, man. Like, I don't come to your house. I don't shit in your floor. Like, you don't... Yeah. Because he's just there, man. It's not personal. He's not... he even waves at the sheriff after she points a gun at him, like, within, 15 minutes.
Maybe you should explain what this is for someone who doesn't know what Five Nights at Freddy's is.
Oh, well, that was your guys' job.
Well, I didn't do it, though.
Basically, you got, a Chuck E. Cheese style establishment, which, if you don't know what that is, it's a place for children.
It's like Five Nights at Freddy's.
It's a Freddy. You've got these huge... I say huge. They're, adult-size animatronic characters that are up on stage singing and dancing. You would have them come out in a mascot outfit and give your child pizza for your birthday, all fun and whatnot. But in this case, they're possessed by evil spirits through a satanic suicide ritual, so they didn't get, murdered by the cops in the flashback. And they are... in this decrepit old Willy's Wonderland, because they couldn't keep it open because people were dying, and they thought they could just board the place up and just ignore it, but then they started leaving and killing the townspeople, so then they came and they made an agreement with the animatronics saying, hey, we will feed you victims, you just stay here. And that's how we get in the situation where the mechanic throws down a spike strip for vehicles, flattens her tires, he ends up coming up, saving the day, takes them to their shop, like, oh, I only take cash. Oh, the ATM doesn't work because we never had internet installed.
We were gonna get it, but we didn't.
Never put an ATM there without internet in the first place. That's fucking stupid. No one believes that.
Well, hold on. ATMs existed before the internet.
Yeah, you just need a phone. I would assume you just need a phone, but that's still something like, I don't know, man. Yes, maybe. Did they?
I don't actually know that for a fact, but I
You
said
just
it.
said that.
I
So
said it.
It sounded convincing. But anyway, it was $1,000 for some new tires or something, which he had a high-end vehicle with some low-profile tires that easily could have been $1,000 more.
Listen to this tire guy.
Hey, look, I know. So that's a believable price, but it's also believable he's not going to have that on him. So he's like, oh, well, you want to work it off? And
Zip.
Nic Cage, again, he doesn't, yeah, right? He doesn't talk. He just gives him a stare, and he's like, okay, cool. I'll take you to a place. And so that's how we get Nic Cage.
This is where I wrote down, is Nic Cage just not going to talk throughout this entire movie?
Yeah.
That was also my prediction. He was not going to speak. He was going to let his sunglasses do all the talking for him. I think
here's
we were right.
the thing. So Nick, he was very protective of the script. He went out. He became a producer of it. Like when he got onto this movie, he was in love with it. Which I feel like he gets that way about probably a lot of.
That's not the only
movies.
thing he falls in love with in this movie.
Well, I would say he does that now. This is probably one of the first projects, like post, I no longer have to take every single job proposed to me because I'm in debt, right?
Yeah, I mean, he still kind of takes some random jobs, but he's had a couple bangers pop up around this. I don't remember when stuff came out, but I like Mandy was really good. Color Out of Space was really good. He snuck out like Parents was really good. He still had some duds out there. Into Ghostland was okay for like fun. It's not his worst thing. And then he came out. I haven't actually watched Pig yet, but I hear good things. But like he got to it like when. In The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, which is his magnum opus in my opinion, it's a fantastic movie, and he says, we're back. Not that we ever went anywhere. To me, he never did go anywhere, because he was throwing out these low-key bangers.
He was still doing good performances, it's just the movies around those performances.
Right, because everyone knows he is fairly eccentric in real life, and yeah, had gotten some financial issues with just buying entire museums and pyramids and shit.
Well, I mean, divorce, man. It'll get you every time.
I was wondering if this was his response to like the critics of his performance in the Wicker Man remake.
He did too much in that, so he's doing.
It was way the bees. So that not so fun. I mean, funny, but not so fun. And so
When
what?
I
I'm gonna
hear-
show those assholes. I'm gonna steal the fucking screen every time I'm on it. I'm not gonna say a thing.
Not a goddamn thing. Here's the thing. Every time I hear Nick talk about one of his little movies, he always seems like, well, I read this character and then immediately made me think of this. And so I'm going to do this. So like all his characters at this point are like homages to other, the way he plays them is an homage to some other thing.
Who's this an homage to?
Big cinephile. I forget. I was looking to see if it was written down on the IMDb because when it first came out, I was reading all the stuff like, really? He didn't talk? I wanted to know why. And there was something somewhere that said it, but I don't remember where. I couldn't find it. I've let you down. I've let me down. Everyone's...
It's almost like if Snake Plissken didn't talk.
Sure.
It literally just says... Nic Cage was intrigued by the idea of making a movie without any speaking lines. But I swear there was something else to it.
Daniel, when we get to the part of the movie at the shop, first off, I believe the character's name is Tex, who's the driver, mechanic driver.
Tex is the owner of the thing.
Who was the Tex is the owner of Willy's right now? No. Yes. Was it Jed?
Yes.
Jed sounds right.
Jed.
Sounds
okay,
sounds like a truck driver name.
Jed, did you think when Jed would just kept talking and talking at a silent Nic Cage, you just go, oh, I get it. This is Kenny in a split reality.
I 100% did think Kenny, yes.
Did you also think Kenny?
My thought was, this is Kenny talking to a sleeping Ryan at one of my gymnastic meets.
I mean, look, Nic Cage gave me a lot more to work with than Sleeping Ryan. I'll tell you that much. No, that's not what I was thinking. I was thinking, you guys want to see a Half-Life movie. This is your Gordon Freeman.
Okay.
You wanna adapt that Gordon never talks.
But it doesn't make sense for Gordon to never talk.
Does it make sense for Nic Cage to never talk?
Yes, he does. He's evolved beyond words.
But Nic Cage isn't playing like a scientist character that all these people are pretending is saying things.
Well, they pretend it. It's like, oh yeah, you don't want to talk about your past. I get it. Like he's just staring.
Well, they're just
sunglasses.
projecting. They're just projecting.
He's not
onto
even
him, right?
That's all they're doing to Gordon. That's all
Gordon's
I'm saying.
actually a janitor. He's not a scientist at all.
I mean, same. Look, like Nic Cage even like meets Liv, like sees her getting pulled out by the sheriff as he's pulling up, and he stares at her through the sunglasses.
He looked at
and
me.
She's seeing it. Yeah, they immediately fall in love.
I don't think that's what
something.
it is, but
It's so weird. But I think she's
it's one person now looking at him going, oh, a sacrifice.
Yeah, but he's looking at her like...
You just, I don't know.
Yeah, but in reality, he's actually got his eyes closed because he's wearing glasses. We don't know.
He doesn't blink a single time in this movie.
She thinks it's a big moment, but he's sleeping.
Daniel, when Jed tells Nic Cage that there's no internet, we only accept cash money, the credit card machine is down. Oh, you don't got cash? Well, I got a side gig you could do to make money. Did that raise any red flags for you?
Yes, I was wondering, does everyone know the building's haunted? If so, what is the plan? Is it just capitalism? What are we doing?
Right.
Now, I have another question. Did the lack of internet raise more of a red flag than the fact that they showed us laying out the spike strip?
The spike strip should be the red flag, because, like, if it had just been, like, nails or, like, glass on the road or something, that would be one thing, but it was, like, just a straight-up spike strip.
I figured Jed had laid out the spike strip because there's no one here, and this would be his only means of making money is by repairing these people's cars. I thought, but once we got to his mechanic shop, and he's like, oh, no cash, huh? Okay, this is what I need you to do. I'm like, okay, so we've got a setup where you got to spend the night in the haunted mansion and get your share of your uncle's inheritance kind of deal. And I'm like, okay, so what does Jed know about this place? And then we go and we meet Tex. Okay, Tex is the owner. What does he know about this place? Do they know they're feeding people to Willy's? And if so, why are they doing that?
Mm-hmm.
At that point, you should kind of like get the feeling they know they're feeding it to Willy's because, well, they laid out the spike strip, and if they just wanted money, they would have had the ATM working.
Yeah.
That is true.
So
if you can give
money's...
people an easier way to give you money, yeah.
Hey, it's your birthday, so let's party, everyone.
So when
that's happening.
When Nic Cage, when his car gets the flat tires, he stands in front of it.
Oh,
and
yes.
the shadow
Daniel.
changes. So, like, how long was he standing there?
That is my exact
you read
written
my notes,
note,
you
Daniel.
son of a bitch. We can't all be on the same page. That doesn't make sense.
This is
which draws into my thing that he knows that this is, so they've set a trap, but he's Uno reverse card him. He's set a trap, and then they're walking into it by picking him up and then taking him there.
That's why he's
Or he's
preloaded
just
with
like-
punch drink.
Mm-hmm. Because he's got so many of those. Why does he have those?
He's got a burlap sack full of fucking soda.
It's
Who
punch,
does that?
A fistful of caffeine for your kisses. Or to your kisses.
For your kisser.
Kisser.
Yeah. It's punch pop.
I also
You'll
wrote
see-
down that this movie has a fetish with boots.
Sure.
Nice boots.
We get a lot of boot shots.
We get a lot of clean shirts. Look, I'm sure because you guys clearly had to have wrote my notes because no way we all think the same thing. You guys see every time he goes on break, I type break time, punch pop baby, and then later it's break time, punch pop baby, pinball time. And I get to do that like 20 times because he takes a lot of breaks.
Well, work hard, play hard.
I thought
Oh,
it
yeah,
was
the clean
weird
shirt.
when Tex was he gets there. Tex gives him here's the rundown. You spend the night in the creepy place, and by the next day you clean it up, and we'll take care of your car and all that shit. But then he's walking around being like, now be sure. But he's mentioning like this place has been closed down for a while, a long time.
But we want to get it open back up. You
Sure,
know?
but then he says, but be sure to help yourself to whatever food or drink is in here and take lots of breaks. And I'm thinking, what food or drink has been left in here that he would consume?
It'd be the food and
Right.
drink left
Now,
by
that comes up-
previous food they brought in for the for Willy.
Ew.
That comes up. I have a comment on that later because we're doing some jump cuts of him later when he's going crazy on the pinball machine during like his dancing and stuff. They flash a shot of a fucking hot dog, and I'm like, there is not a hot dog in there that he is gonna eat. Like he brings his own soda, that's fine. But where the fuck why did we just show a hot dog?
Well, these other people that have been staying there brought the food.
No, how often do they get victims there?
You only go in there to get destroyed.
Right, the people that they trick into going in there to stay the night, they probably brought food with them.
Oh, we happen to have hot dogs in our car already.
Yeah.
That's better than my eternal monologue for him, which was, oh, thanks, I'll just help myself to a fine bowl of cobwebs. Oh, at least I've got my punch.
This is where we disagree, Ryan, in that I would be like, oh, great, even if it's fresh, I don't want Chuck E. Cheese fucking pizza, but you seem to like it last time.
In this movie, we get Willy Weasel, Siren Sarah, Cammy the Chameleon, Tito the Turtle, Artie the Alligator, Nighty Night,
favorite.
Gus the Gorilla, and Ozzy the Ostrich.
Would you guys, what was Sirenson? You know, would you?
You mean Tinkerbell?
Yeah, would you?
Oh, would you?
Yeah, would you?
Oh, no, not after Nic Cage ruined her with, like, just letting her gobble his taint. Like, I'm not going to be able to compete with that. I can't compete with that.
Did you see the way she's spidering around? Sign me up.
I don't like that. We've established I don't like when people do that.
That's true. We have established that.
Okay, look. We've got some fun animatronics, and they look great, I think.
They look really good.
Wonderful.
Except for the Knight. The Knight is just a cast off from like a fucking college mascot.
Yeah, I don't know why the Knight's there. He's kind of...
It doesn't make thematically, like, why do we have whatever. And why we try to say Sarah's a siren instead of a fairy. You don't have to call her Tinkerbell. Other fairies exist. She's clearly a fucking fairy. And Cammy the Chameleon, why she gotta be so ugly, and why she gotta be like, they all say I'm ugly, and then I'm like, well shit, now I said it too, and I feel bad.
I don't think they actually say that.
I bet they do. Fuck Cammy the Chameleon, lion ass bitch. And fuck that dumbass who believed her. What's dumb as shit kid. These kids are all dumb. The kids
were all dumb,
except for Liv. Liv has first off, Liv, she lives with the sheriff who's taken her away, played by Beth Grant, who you've probably seen in things. She gets brought back into their house, and the sheriff handcuffs her to like a radiator, which weird to have one of those bolted down in what I think is a trailer.
Yeah.
Tells her like there's chips on the counter, shit in the bucket. First off, I don't have anything good in my house to handcuff people to. The bed is just gonna fall apart. Do you guys have good handcuff spots?
Yeah, the metal pole in the garage.
I think that would pull right out. I don't think that's really holding anything. I don't know why it's there, just to get hit by my car door.
Then perhaps
maybe the water spigot out in the yard.
Yeah, but that's outside.
We have a black snake. We can't have a black snake moan situation properly because we don't got like good handcuff things.
You don't have
not even in the murder room
ready around. Yeah.
Ryan, do you got any good place to handcuff people to in your house? I don't know how China does their hostage stuff.
Let me see. No, everything pretty much could come out.
I like that you can like see your whole apartment from where you're sitting, though. That's a good. Because the people who can't see, which is everyone who's not us, he's just looking left and right.
This is downtown living, baby.
Downtown.
Kenny,
downtown.
When the sheriff took Liv and handcuffs her to the radiator, I had a couple of thoughts. My first thought was, what kind of small podunk town is this that their jail cell is a house?
You thought that was the jail cell?
I thought
it was the jail cell.
What? And then throwing her in the bucket. It wasn't until her chums, her friends came to bust her out that I'm like, oh, well, no, their interaction kind of teed me off that they had a relationship with each other, right? But
yeah,
until then,
plus it's small town stuff.
I thought this was just where they put the people to sleep off, like their drunk nights.
You have to sleep in the sheriff's house.
You gotta sleep. Here's your bucket.
God damn it! I want to sleep in the sheriff's house again. Yeah, so we got our fun gang of youths showing up to have fun and take vengeance on robots. And then Liv's like, look, this isn't supposed to be fun, okay? You guys saw what they did. And then what's his name? Fucking, I think it's Chris. It's like, yeah, whatever she says, because I'm trying to smash, but I'm stuck in this friend zone. He says that. He might as well say that, because everyone knows that's what's happening.
It is known.
So we got the youths are going to be heading to Willy's, because they know Willy's is fucked up. At the beginning of the movie, we had a shaky cam murder of 2 people. We find out later those 2 people had a little girl, and that was Liv, who survived by hiding in a closet. And then the sheriff just takes the little girl, like, as her own. Like, well, I can't just leave her here. It's going to be weird, but whatever. You're my little girl now. And the kid just apparently adapts to that pretty quickly. As she gets older, she's like, nah, you murdered my parents, essentially. Fucking weird. But we get back to Nic Cage, who's just a heckin' good cleaner.
He is a cleaning machine.
Now, even if there's no murders or anything going on, the size of that place and how grimy it is...
I don't think he'd get it done in a night.
He gets the whole thing done while also stopping the murder stuff and re-cleaning areas. And yeah, there's no fucking way. It takes forever to clean. He's one man. Now, also, surely the past people that have been getting in there have been able to accomplish some cleaning before.
Well, not everyone was assigned the task of cleaning.
Sometimes you're
going to need a place to stay the night, so here you go.
Yeah, they should have all been cleaning. Because there's like party supplies and stuff like laying around on the tables and shit. Now, I said he's a good cleaner, but later I also point out he's not cleaning right, though. You should really be working top down, like clean off your surfaces and stuff like that, because he's just randomly mopping when there's shit still all over the floor and he hasn't cleaned off the tables. When you're cleaning your kitchen, wipe down your counters and shit first.
Well, early on, I think he's just burning time because he knows that one of the animatronics is going to come and jump him.
He does see them moving. Maybe that's why he wants to have the mop out and ready, because
they are moving.
He was ready.
He doesn't get attacked before his first break time, though. He goes and finds his break room. He puts his burlap sack worth of sodas into the cooler. He takes them out of the sack. He notices the covered pinball machine and like, oh yeah, we're gonna get a little arcade action. See what I did there? I changed the D to a G because his name's Nic Cage and arcade. And look, I'm here all week. Don't worry about it. He doesn't quite get that set up on his first break. We got to build up to his good break times. Now he goes back out there. We see a shot of the ostrich, Ozzy the ostrich character poster on the wall, and then he's mopping, and I'm like, don't try it, Big Bird. Fucking ostrich shows up, and Nic Cage just stares at it, and he does like a hard tap at it, and then he taps it twice. And now, before we get to this scene, though, is there a continuity error? I feel like Nic Cage already had a Band-Aid on his face. Did he? Or no?
I didn't notice it.
Didn't notice.
Okay, because the bird picks... Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah, he had the piece of tape on his cheek already. I thought it was a Band-Aid, and I thought it was replaced by tape. The bird pecks him in the face. He didn't like that. He stomps off the end of the mop, is doing that. The Ozzy the ostrich gets the upper hand, so then he fucking busts the mop handle in half into what's a similar weapon of that size? Like little, what are the sticks? Not like nightsticks. I don't know. Anyway, he's wielding these things, and he's just beating the shit out of Ozzy the ostrich. Beats him down on the ground, and then he stands up and he pulls out his fucking spine.
And it's important to note that there was no hesitation in him beginning his martial arts against the bird. He wasn't shocked that the bird had pecked him. He wasn't shocked that the animatronic had come to life.
Yeah, like he smacks it like, you gonna start it or what?
Yeah.
He was super chill when Ozzy said, I'm gonna feast on your face.
Yeah.
I mean, he's kicking ass for the Lord, guys. I'm telling you.
Yes, I do love that the animatronics all have alternative lines from Evil Dead movies.
Yeah.
True.
Now, I forgot to mention that he gets in there, he changes into a Willy's Wonderland shirt because there's a stack of them in the closet. It's a big stack, that's important because now he's covered again. So he bags up Ozzy.
Also, he's looking good.
He's got like a swole dad bod. Like it's a fit dad bod.
You know, I just thought of this. That's actually a good way to avoid continuity errors. If after every fight you clean up a little bit and then change what you were wearing, so that you don't have to keep track of the amount of gore that's been going on in previous scenes.
Now, I feel like they slipped up again later, and I haven't verified this yet, but after his second fight, this one, he duct tapes up the wound on his face. His second fight, he does like a body wrap of duct tape. I feel like we see him changing shirts later, and he doesn't have that.
No, he does.
He has it. That.
He has it.
Does it? Okay.
I remember seeing it at least one more time after that.
Okay. I wasn't sure on that one. But you can't keep him caged. Now it's break time again. Punch, pop, baby! And then he's cleaning the pinball machine on his break because, hey, this is going to be for fun. And it's your birthday. The animatronics start playing their little ditty. He goes out there. He cleans up the bathroom really fucking good. He goes out there, looks at the animatronics. He turns them back off. Then you see the bathroom door close. He goes back in there, and the ape has escaped.
Nice.
And then the gorilla, he's like, "You'll never find me!" as he's shutting all the stalls in the bathroom.
That's a big gorilla.
How did he hide? He opens all of them. He's not there.
It's a teleportation, materialization out of nothing. It's fine.
I'm not bothered by it. I just think it's funny.
Hey, Ryan.
Hey, Kenny.
You're as hot as a pancake on a griddle and just as yummy. That turned me on a little bit because I got a half chub when the gorilla said that. That's my new pickup line.
I guess I came full mast when he said, I'm going to eat your eyes out and then feast on your soul.
Hell yes.
Gorilla greetings!
Once again.
Are you guys familiar with Vinny Caravella's bathroom fear?
No. So this is Vinny of Nextlander?
Of Nextlander.
Former Giant Bomb now.
Formerly of Giant Bomb. So he sometimes talks about his bathroom fear of, while being at the urinal peeing, someone coming up behind him and then slamming his face into the urinal.
Doing an American History X to him on the
Yeah. And that's what happens.
That's exactly what I said, Ryan. Yeah.
To the gorilla.
Okay.
That's how he finished. Yeah.
Kenny,
So
at this point,
losing.
I was wondering if the spirits of this place wanted it dirty. And every time you cleaned
pissed.
it is what was triggering them to attack. I'm trying to figure out what the rules of this reality are. What's causing them to come out.
It's video game rules. Willy is, I say Wally, it was originally Wally's, but it got changed to Will. Willy's in charge. He's the cult leader here. He's sending out his weakest one at a time. Just like, okay, you want a shot at him? Go get him. Oh, wow, you didn't make it. Hey, how about you go give a crack at him? Because Willy doesn't need to do the killing himself. They all enjoy it. So it's like, hey, you guys go ahead. Because Willy knows if he does it, he's just going to fucking win. There's no fun in that.
Absolutely.
So this is our boss battles getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
I'm with you.
That's my thoughts there.
All right. Well, I mean, after this, we get our good friend Nic Cage, doing the duct tape around him, upping his armor class by a +2, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which again though, he didn't win like hand to hand. He gets the shit kicked out of him for a second, tossed into the urinal, and then he comes out with the plunger, so then he has a weapon again.
Yes.
Clean shirt. He has to re-clean the bathroom because that thing was spotless and that was fucking covered again after that fucking beautiful stomp in the urinal. Duct tape holding him together, his face and his body, but you know what time it is. Break time! Punch pop! Now he's sitting there he's going to town with a nail brush. Like, because he's like, no, I got the fucking gorilla blood under my nails.
I thought that was sandpaper.
It sounded like it, but no, I think it... Was it? I thought it was a nail brush.
It was... No. Nah.
It sounded like sandpaper.
That's because it was.
Oh, well, shit. He's polishing up the pinball machine, though, so we're getting closer to pinball. And now we get, you're pouring gas on top of my gas, which he was. But then, after they switch places because the other guy's annoyed, the other guy goes back to that same spot to start pouring gas again. Did you notice that? I noticed that, because these are dumb teens.
Yes. They're not great.
They've shown up at Willy's. So what's happening, Ryan?
A little bit before this, we have a scene at the sheriff's office where a new deputy has come in, and the sheriff, we learn the sheriff is basically in on what's happening. And my question is this some kind of special sacrifice day that just the whole town has agreed on, that we get one person and we send them to Willy's, they die, and then our harvest is bloom for the rest of the year, our crops are great, our babies go off to college, all this kind of stuff.
A cabin in the woods on a smaller scale? Yeah.
The sheriff and the officer who's from out of town, and she's like, you see that phone? Our entire job is to sit here and pray it doesn't ring.
But when it does ring, she ignores it the first time. So why not just unplug it or leave?
Why bring in an extra deputy?
Why do we care if they're murdering people? That was the whole point. If you went there, that's on you.
I thought this meant that deputy she was going to have to kill him by the time this movie was over, because he was going to learn about the secret, and that would be a problem.
I feel like you don't let a non-local who's not in on the secret get into this position.
I mean, you don't tell a non-cult member about your cultish ways.
You don't.
There's catfishing and honeypotting that has to go, before that.
You honeydicking? Are you honeydicking?
I'm putting my hands in the honeypot. Come at me, Pooh Bear.
Yeah. So okay, so that's going on. They're in on it. The teens are pouring gas on the building. They're ready to light it on fire, but Liv, who's our main teen, says, hold on, we gotta save the guy. There's a guy in there. And that's when I wrote down again, he isn't locked in there with them. They're locked in with him. She looks through the window and sees him, and she's like, sir. He's like cleaning the oven. Like, you have to get out of there. It's not safe. And he just stares at her, and then he just fucking goes back to working. She's like, God damn it. Like, okay, I know we said we weren't going in there, but I'm going to go in there and save him. You guys stay out here, find a way to get us out. Then we get classic movie air ducts that could fit an entire minivan driving through
huge vents.
Maze-like vents. And I'm like, is there going to be... Oh, God, there is a puppet in the vent.
Hey... Do you guys know what you can do in the Five Nights at Freddy's games?
You can shut off the vents, close the vents.
They got cameras and stuff in the vents because the creatures will come into your office from either sides of the vents, at least in the first two, I guess. And we get the crocodile. Is that the one in the vent, or is it Tito?
It's the RT, the alligator.
Sorry, he's an alligator, but I'm gonna say crocodile because this is part of the Croc cinematic universe.
This is the incident where his wife died.
God, we do have the same notes, because my note is our Croc cinematic universe is expanding once again.
Yeah, some would say we're the same people sometimes.
Oh man,
I have listened to our podcast, and one time I thought it was me talking, but it was you.
Wow,
that was weird. Yeah,
was it a bit disappointing?
Yeah, it was sad. I was like, do I really sound that old and sad?
Yeah,
but so she falls through the vent after Artie the alligator is chasing her, and she landed the ball. No, the kids landed the ball pit.
Kids on the roof fall in the ball pit.
She's in the jungle.
I thought this looked like, why does this place have a swamp room?
Yeah, it's a Tinkerbell fucking jungle.
It's Tinkerbell from hell. Yeah.
How big is this building?
It's fucking huge because they got these massive character-themed rooms for weird side parties. And I don't know, man. Look, it's a thing. Don't worry about it.
I laughed so hard when Nic Cage walked into that room. His little alarm went off. So
he just gives her the pocket knife and leaves.
Yes, he's like, "No, you gotta clean this place now." And then he goes to have his punch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. God, so
pop,
good.
Punch, break time. Oh, the rest of the kids are still outside, and they hear Liv scream. So they're like, "Well, we got to go inside."
Because we think that she's been killed by the siren, because she's like creepy spider walking all over the place.
Which the fact that she wasn't is weird, because we find her, she drops out of a tree later on Nic Cage.
Well, she stabbed her.
She wasn't dead.
Yeah, says she stabbed that bitch.
Why was one of these friends like straight out of the disco era? Like her makeup, her outfit.
Okay, one more observation about that, because this was the only other female, and this was, who was this? Was this Kathy?
Kathy?
Okay, yeah. Kathy. In the scene where they all come to the trailer to bust her out, all the guys are talking, running their mouths and saying go find a key, how are we going to get her out? And Kathy is completely silent, just walks over, takes out a hairpin, and unlocks the handcuffs. And so
you thought she was going to be smarter and more capable than she ended up being?
Well, no, I'm just saying that this movie it says the people who run their mouths don't accomplish shit. The silent, strong types are the ones who can actually take care of business. And it's when Kathy actually starts talking later that's when she gets killed, right?
Ah. When her hormones run wild.
Well, I mean, Bobby is sure.
That'll happen.
Bobby will flood you.
Oh, you a freak.
You a freak.
Oh, you not into that? I didn't say that. Oh my god, that was so dumb. So they get on the roof trying to find a way in to go save her, even though she specifically said, "Do not come in here, find a way to get us out." They're up there. Bobby keeps trying to leave, and then his lady, we just said her name and I already forgot it.
It's Kathy. I'm Team Bobby.
Kathy. Yeah, Kathy's climbing up the ladder. Bobby's like, "Whoa," because we're seeing up Kathy's skirt. And he's like, whoa, cover your eyes. And then he climbs up right behind her. They go up there. He's like, "We should leave, okay? This is dumb." And then eventually, Chris is like, "We have to save her." Like, she's not going to fuck you, man. You keep like...
Kissing that ass ain't going to get you that ass.
Yes,
it will get you
that
killed.
Ass ain't going to get you that. Yeah.
And that's what happens.
Out this bitch.
That's what happens.
And then the roof collapses. Yeah.
Daniel, Kenny, when they were on the roof, did you say, "Oh, this roof shares the same cinematic universe as The Room"?
I actually did. Yes, I did. I did. Yeah.
Okay. Just checking.
I didn't say that, but I got you, fam.
The background just looks. It just looks off, just off enough. They're like, "What?
Well,
you stole this from
the
Room B footage somehow." I don't know how you did it. And you
Tommy was so gotta come for you.
It is in the Croc cinematic universe, so it makes sense.
We haven't covered The Room yet, so it can't be in the universe.
Well, he intentionally made a bad movie now. He's got like a shark movie or something that's coming out.
That doesn't work the same. It's not the same.
It doesn't. It looks like bad, not enjoyable bad. But anyway, they're in the building now. They're in the ball pit.
Oh, Kenny, you're missing the best part, because when Bobby tells him that, Bobby turns around because he's going to leave, and Chris gets angry. Yeah. So
Chris
his
does a shove
from behind, and the way I saw this, it looked like he grabs them, and then they drop out of the frame, and then dust just explodes. So I thought Bobby had exploded into dust. And I didn't know. God. I was just like, wait, what? Was he a scarecrow or something? What just happened? But no, they
always has been.
It fell into a ball pit, but it was funny for me.
He drinks exclusively Pop Punch, and all the caffeine's dehydrated him to a point that when he gets contacted, he explodes into dust.
Damn.
Dust in the wind, guys. Dust in the wind.
So then, like you said, the Nic Cage saves her in there, and then they're out there in the main area, and then she wants to stab him, and he's like, no, we don't make messes. You don't kill this one unless it's trying to kill you. It's my job to kill him. Now, I'm going to try to go over here, and Bobby and Kathy, we're going to go over here in this other room, because splitting up is smart, considering we just said how dangerous these things are. They're all killers. We're all well aware of this. But then we get a lore dump, and my note here was that someone needs to take notes. So did one of you take notes on this lore dump?
1996, Jerry Robert Willis, a serial killer. He gets his serial killer gang around, and he uses Willy's as a cover to murder families in the fun room.
How do they keep getting families to come there and throw birthday parties if they're essentially murdering the families at every private birthday party?
Eventually you're gonna run out of families.
Jerry and his crew of satanic, they form a satanic suicide ritual once they realize the cops are onto them, which catches and transfers their energy of living energy into non-living entities. And then I went, child's play.
Yep.
This is where I said, did the ritual go, give me the power I beg of you?
That's not a satanic ritual. That's voodoo.
That's true. It was slightly different. Voodoo doesn't mean bad. There could be good voodoo.
And then we find out that they tried to close the place once they keep it open, and that got accidents, and then eventually a child died, and so then they tried to close it, but then the animatronics would leave Willy's Wonderland out into the town and start murdering people that way. So the sheriff, Tex, and Jed made a deal with Willy that if they would bring them sacrificial lambs, that Willy and his gang would just stay in this place to do their stuff.
Right. Now, I'm going to add a little bit more onto the lore dump there. Now, before they did the cultist ritual, it was just them in costumes. So they do the satanic ritual, they die. The guy, the new owner, decides he's going to keep it open under that same fucking brand for some dumb reason. It's not like it's a franchise. So then that's when they make the animatronics based off the murdering fucking suits. That's dumb already. But we get this great scene of Sarah the Siren up to this little boy who is reaching up to like do a grope. And she goes, "Wanna fuck, fatty?" I just wanted to talk about that. So, yeah. Also, it's a bad business idea. Like, we're going to bring this back, but we're just going to keep using the likenesses of the things that just murdered all these people. But, okay.
Kenny, I have a question. Because their birthday song, Willy's birthday song, talks about serving families since 1984, but the lore dump only goes back to 1996. For when Jerry set up Willy's. So I was wondering, is that a mistake, or did I misunderstand something, or is 1984?
No,
did
you're
something
100%
else happen
right.
In 1984? Outside of this movie, that's a reference to something that I don't know about.
No, it's listed under a continuity goof. That you're right. They say it opens in 96 when they say serving since 84. There's nothing to explain that in the movie.
Person who wrote the song didn't read the script.
Oh, good song though. Look, I'm telling you,
songs.
if you can get a hold of this, the vinyl's so good. So good. You should get it.
But even after this lore dump, Bobby and Kathy immediately go to the fun room.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't even need the lore dump though. They're well aware these things are murdering. They all seem to imply that they had some sort of incident there and got away. And all I'm saying is, again, the hormones take over, and look, these crazy white women just be setting men up for failure everywhere.
Because this was so weird to me, and she's a little freak. I thought
you a freak.
Kathy was going to turn out to be the daughter of one of the serial killers.
That's what I thought too.
Ooh, see, that would be a fun twist.
Because
that would have been
otherwise, the stupidity just makes
otherwise it makes no sense. Yeah,
it makes no sense. So they're off doing that while Liv is giving the lore dump to the janitor, Nic Cage, and he isn't even fucking listening.
He doesn't care.
He's just cleaning.
He's got a job to do.
And then we get six little chickens on the end of the line. So they're singing a song about, that amount of teenagers that came in, there's 6 little chickens, and then 2 of them die, something like that. Lights go out, I think. Lights pop back up, and the Nightman's right behind one of the random friends that swords him.
Oh, God.
And then
just impales that kid.
Yeah, and then he's gonna go do a swing on another one, but before he decapitates the other one, the kid slips into blood. Like, that's a perfect dodge. But you know what time it is?
Break time,
punch pop, pinball! And then fucking, because we got fucking going on in the other room. So now it's croc time.
It's an alligator.
Yeah, I know, but I wrote croc time. So what's dumber than splitting off in the place that you know is dangerous with these killer animatronics to go have sex in another room is you get spooked by one of the animatronics that you know kills people that happens to be in the room with you now that you didn't think it was there before, but we're just going to dismiss it and let's just give it a good show, even though you know it's there to fucking kill you. Are you stupid? They are.
When your ball's deep,
Yeah. Wait, what?
Gotta finish.
Hey, look, I don't blame Bob. Kathy's a cutie.
But it's 100% her fault.
Oh, 100%.
Well, no, not 100%. He could have said no.
No, do you think Bob would be able to do his math in class if she was dressed like that in the classroom with him? No, these women need to cover up.
I don't agree with that, but
G.I. Joe.
You saying that logic doesn't track?
That logic doesn't really track with me.
But what if she's showing her shoulder, Daniel? How are you going to concentrate on your
shoulder?
math?
That's next.
God damn.
Shoulder's a lot. What if it's an ankle? Whew.
Look, he's to blame too. He's just less to blame.
Okay, so Chris,
Shit, man.
they all split up again, yes. But Chris calls the sheriff finally, because we're going to call in the outside forces. Sheriff immediately hangs up on him when he says where he is.
Oh, yeah, they all have cell phones.
Oh,
Yeah.
you can have them here. It's fine, because the people
it's
answering
fine.
the phone don't give a shit.
They don't give a shit, but...
Yeah, there's a lot happening at once right here. So
Yeah, and,
if we jump around on this,
and then
it's all happening at once.
but once he calls back and then says, lives here. And then she's like, put on your balls, Evan, we're going to Willy's.
Right. So Chris is hiding in a little like tiki hut in the jungle room where Tinkerbell was earlier.
Yeah.
But the chameleon is going in there, like approaching him. One of the other friends is out there, the lights are flashing and whatnot, and the siren during the lights flashing pops up right behind him and then disappears. That was a fucking great shot when the lights were strobing and that happened. And then she's gone, but then the flashes again, then the turtle is behind Tito.
Tito the
is
turtle.
behind him. And like, that's great. So this has all happened. They're all about to get murdered, but then you know what? Break is over. Nic Cage comes back in and he grabs the knife and he just bashed his head in all night. And then he takes his sword and he fucking Highlanders him.
There can be only one nighty night.
He makes it look so easy.
It is to him, because that's the part where I'm like, yes, he is him. Like
He is him.
He is
the
him. Doomslayer, okay?
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
I think this movie takes place in the Unbreakable universe, okay?
Yeah.
He's one of these
He's
superheroes
literally-
with powers.
He's literally the Doom guy. He just happened to be in hell and shit happened and he took care of it. He needs a new shirt. Did the Croc or Tinkerbell kill the boy who's against the wall, or did he survive so far? I'm trying to remember.
He gets eaten in the ball pit. Not a ball pit, but a foam pit.
Artie the alligator has had enough of the happy fun sex in the fun room, so the alligator eats Bobby and Kathy, and then
He eats Bobby. Kathy's still screaming, and that lures
Nic Cage,
the janitor, and Liv.
and he like
Kicks
Nic Cage Luthers the door.
fucking flies off its hinges.
oh
And
my
yeah, at
god,
this point,
and then cracks open.
Kathy dies off camera. Yeah, the tongue action on the alligator.
I do wish they would have plussed it just a little bit and had Nic Cage rip that tongue out with his teeth.
Oh god!
A la
yes.
Kong versus the T-Rex. Just come on.
It was already glorious, but that would have taken it.
Just go over. No, come on. He's crack.
No, I'm saying like that would have. I would have
puts
loved
his head
it.
in the crocodile's mouth like you'd see at a zoo show,
It's an alligator.
and then
It is
just
an alligator.
bites the tongue right out. That would have been. Come on.
That would have been great.
Throw your popcorn in the air like you just don't care. It's good stuff.
He just don't care. So that's another one dead, but also those two people are dead.
Well,
And we got Chris still
is lying that now. If we want to go with she's one of the serial killers. She's lying there. She doesn't look like anything's happened to her. She's lying with her eyes closed.
Oh, she fainted.
So she could be
Because she
pretending
actually-
to be dead.
She's actually got blue vulva because she didn't get the climax, and she's fainted from the stress of that. And
That is the
Is
first
that a real thing?
time I've ever heard that in the history of ever.
it's like it's Lady Blue Balls.
I know what blue balls are. Like it's like that time you.
But blue balls is a thing.
But that's when you get blue balls in your heart, as that one guy told us in God, what was that series? One of you knows what
True
I'm talking
Detective
about.
season
Season 2.
Vince,
Yes,
Vince
Vince
Vaughn.
Vaughn. Oh, God.
it's like
Yeah.
getting blue balls in your heart, and we
Look,
all America went.
I'm
"What?"
sure. I'm sure I didn't make that up, but if I did, trademarked.
I'm giving it to you, buddy. It's yours. You can have it.
I'm sure I had. I'm sure I heard that somewhere. I'm not that creative. Now we jump back to Chris hiding in the hut, and we got the ugly chameleon because she says she's ugly. She says, "I'm not mean like the other ones. They call me ugly and stuff, and I'm just not as mean." And Chris is like, "Oh, well, shit, man." He climbs out, and he's like, "I'm sorry they're mean to you.
Why
like,
is he
we can help each other.
stupid? Why is everyone stupid?
I can free you. They know they do murders, man. They know. He's dumb."
Chris is so.
And then-
oh, God, yes.
Someone, I think we cut back to the cops or something. Someone says something about sidearms, and I go, "Aren't all arms sidearms? Because they're all on the side."
Well, Good
Oh.
stuff.
And then we get another lore dump
We do.
of them showing the rest of the whole, like, we made a deal with them.
And
We will feed you.
here, after that scene, is where I want Sheriff, Tex, and Jed to be dead by the end of this movie. We've now seen these things can be taken out. They can be
Easily.
destroyed.
I don't think they tried.
Again, they didn't try. They decided what reality was, but it wasn't the real thing. And they have been feeding it families, and I'm not okay with them living by the end of this movie. So they better die. I told this movie they better die. In this movie, you know what it did?
It killed them eventually.
Yeah.
They might have got something else out of it, though. In those flashbacks, the mechanic hasn't aged a day from that flashback to now. He looks the exact same.
Okay.
So maybe they get some youth out of it. I don't know, man. Look, what's great about this movie is in the flashbacks, because we've been watching a lot of the Friday movies where the main deaths are kind of shitty. Even the random flashback deaths of people we know nothing about have been, like, kind of fun. They show heads getting ripped off. Like, they show, like, yeah, they just show more in these quick cuts. I'm like, come on, that's what I've been missing. Like, I've been so pumped to watch a good movie after watching some trash, and I'm happy at this point. Oh, that also shows the sheriff taking the kid home with her, Liv home with her. That's just weird. Tucking her in. Oh, don't worry, I got you. We get tongue action now back in the present from the chameleon who, tongues up Chris.
And the chameleon's skin is doing this cool little stuff with the changing colors.
Wanna play, bitch? And then, oh shit, break time again. That's when Nic Cage gives her the pocket knife. It's like, I gotta go. That's dedication. He doesn't do work off the clock. People, don't work off the clock for your companies. You're not part of the family. That's a red flag. When they say you're part of the family, you get the fuck out of there. You don't work off the clock for them. Fuck them.
Look,
Nic Cage knows.
The pinball machine is not going to grind on itself. It needs another
It is
player
not.
to
It is
do
not.
that.
Break time! Punch pop! Pinball!
Daniel, what did you think when the sheriff eventually gets there, opens, busts through the door and sees, like, the people are not dead, and she finds out that the silent guy has killed some of these supernatural monsters, and yet she still wants to sacrifice him.
She's stubborn. I don't understand. Like, okay, you probably didn't think you could kill these things before. You've now been shown proof and demonstration that this can be done, and this guy can do it, so you're gonna stop that from happening. Why?
There's gotta be the only way to make her not dumb.
It's just gonna make them even madder. What have you done? I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
the only way to make that make sense is if they were getting something else out of the deal, but they don't.
Unless
ever
they're just
explicitly
so
say
afraid of Willy.
Because look, if she had been, that's what it has to be. If she had been in there, because before she busts in there, he's dragging the chameleon down the hallway, and fucking the siren and the turtle are standing there, and he's just walking through, and he punches them each in the face, and they drop, and he just keeps dragging. Like, he doesn't even fucking pause. He just fucking knocks them out. Like, what? He can take them out. Like, say, hey, I don't want you to clean anymore. Just kill them.
Yeah, can you just take
that's-
care of this, and we'll give you all the cars?
Yeah.
I mean,
So, yeah. They handcuff Nic Cage in the building, like, hands behind his back. He's not handcuffed to anything.
Is he handcuffed or is it zip ties?
I thought it was cuffs.
I thought
but
it was
could have been
cuffs,
ties, but I
but
think
later, yes, I know what you're referring
he
to,
just
Daniel.
breaks it. Yeah.
He just
Yeah.
breaks it.
But I like to think he would have done that to cuffs too. The sheriff drags Liv out, puts her in the car. That's when Liv says the line, "No, they're trapped in there with him." Nic Cage gets up because the chameleon and the siren like, "You want a menage a trois?" He stands up, he fucking kicks the jukebox, starts playing some two-step music.
By that, do you mean Head, Shoulders, Knees? The honky tonk version of Head, Shoulders, Knees?
Honky-tonk.
I need to have this.
And
I need this song now.
is this when Nic Cage does like the vigorous head nod thing, like, yeah, like, come on, which is a great, like, Nic Cage does that better than almost anyone. The sheriff is staying outside just in case more shit happens. The deputy or whatever is leaving with Liv. Liv is basically accusing him of being a compliant, complicit, like, cult member murderer. He's like, I ain't that at all. Then the turtle shows up and kills him, but then Liv beats the shit out of the Tito. And Tito's like, no more!
He just hits him with the gun.
No, yeah. He just keeps kicking him in, like, the balls or something. He's like, por favor, no más.
Yeah, he's speaking Spanish. It's hilarious.
It's great.
Well, Liv knows now their only weapon has been fear. She literally watched the janitor punch to him in the face, and they dropped like rocks. So she's like, no, I just gotta hit him, man. So, no more, por favor.
No más.
He he kicks both of their asses with his hands behind his back. We cut back, and he's straddling the Sarah with his taint right in her face, and she's like, ah, gobbling on it, and he breaks her neck with his legs.
Daniel was right. Thick thighs save lives.
Damn right. And then he
Have
rips
I said
the
that?
lizard all the time. That's your mantra. And then he rips the lizard's head off, and then he's taking out the trash, like he's putting them in the bags. He gets a clean shirt. We get another cleaning montage. I think, is this the part where he walks outside and throws the trash, and the sheriff's like, what the fuck? And he just waves.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he goes back inside. Willy's just standing there kind of looming, but now it's break time, punch pop, pinball, dance moves for some reason. He's got too much caffeine at this point. Nick is getting it. He improvised this whole dance, much to everyone's surprise. Too much caffeine. He's flipping around. He's going, woo!
He's had too much soda.
Too much soda. They show us the glimpse of that hot dog that confused me, and then he does a big triumphant fist in the air. He's holding it up there for a while. I'm guessing he got a multi-ball.
Well, no,
bonus.
he
He's
got
so
the
good at
score
pinball.
so high that it reset back down.
Yeah. Oh, he waves at the sheriff after that. I'm sorry, I was out of order in my notes.
The sheriff. I mean, maybe they thought it would be difficult to kill these things at the beginning, but it's clearly
Which makes
not
sense.
a suicide mission at this point. Why are you still so insistent on feeding Willy?
Maybe they think they'll somehow bring their spirits back in another thing. Who fucking knows?
Or maybe she's
an
like,
idiot at this
"Yay,
point.
we made a deal."
Yeah,
She's
deal's
very-
a
You
deal.
You don't go back on a deal. Not when Satan's involved.
This place is looking good. She goes back in there, points the gun at him. She's like, Willy, I'm so sorry, man. Here he is. You come eat him. You fucking come. Hey, he's all yours. But you know what? Willy doesn't want to be fed.
Willy wants to
Willy
hunt.
wants to hunt.
Yeah.
So Willy pops up behind her and fucking slashes her in half. Her torso goes flying up. Did you guys see it stuck on the ceiling?
Yes.
Briefly? Yeah, her torso's hanging from the ceiling. Her legs are just standing there. Blood's going everywhere. He just fucking cleaned. On top of that, now there's blood everywhere. Willy signals the fucking confetti thing to fire everywhere. So now there's blood and confetti everywhere. That would really piss me off. And now we get our boss fight. Willy is slashing the shit out of the janitor until the janitor gets knocked into the ball pit. He gets to be reborn, right?
Yep, that's what that symbolizes.
You say reborn. I say the ball pit is the Lazarus. What is it?
Lazarus pit?
The Lazarus pit,
Yeah.
the Lazarus pool. He is resurrected.
Yeah.
He's
he's pissed. He's like, okay. He goes back to his break room because Willy seems to think he's dead. He's in the ball pit. He's drowning, okay? Everyone knows you can drown in there. Plus, those things are dirty as hell. That's why they stopped having them. He gets his burlap sack. He puts his punch pop back in the burlap sack. He takes his two halves of the mop handle, tapes them together for an even more sturdy weapon, and he's like, I'm fucking back, bitches. And he gets out there, he rematch. And he's really gonna look. I think he's ruined those punch pops.
You know, by shaking them up all like that?
Yeah, but they drink them just fine later. They got to be like flat as hell or something. I don't know. They would have exploded in the car later, but it's a good fight, right?
Yeah.
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 He fucking beats the shit out of Willy. Round 2.
Does he rip his head off, or how does he kill this one?
What was the finishing blow? He beats him down. Am I not remembering how fucking Willy died? I just know he beats I think he just pulverizes him. Does he take his head off?
Because he's been like ripping out the animatronic spines and heads of most of them, either cutting their heads off or ripping out, giving them good Mortal Kombat fatalities.
He's gonna need a new shirt. We're playing some Skinnerd, Freebird.
Some Freebird, and it's so funny. I laugh because we hear I'm like, oh really? You're playing Freebird, and then he gets the keys. Tex and Jed show up. Gets the keys back
After
from
hot
them.
rodding in his car.
Yeah, and he goes into his car, and then he turns the volume up on Freebird.
Yeah.
This is so
he
funny.
turns it up. Yeah. So I think the Tex guy, that's a fake mustache. That is way too uniform and like smooth for looking that thick. It's weird. That's a fake mustache. Both those guys are like, what the fuck? Also, this is the part where again I'm like, where does he go from here? Because I want to keep following this character. That's why I'm like, yeah, I want a sequel where he continues to run into fucked up shit. I said maybe we just go with more like creepypasta type like icons, like he fights Slender Man or Jeff the Killer, all those little random things that people like online.
He fights This phone.
Yeah, it's fine. Liv shows up and she like sees him in the car. She's like, yep, going with you. Like just gets in the car with him randomly. Like, okay, I'm your new daddy, I guess.
It's not, I guess. It's he hands her a can, and on the can, what does it say?
Something in the kisser.
Oh my god, no, it says pop.
Oh, he's her pop.
He's her pop. He hands her a can, it says pop on
And so they're going to leave. She drinks the pop punch because that's, I need to know you're cool. Are you a cop?
If you're cool, you got to drink that in front of me.
He immediately ruins his new tires by doing a sick burnout. And then, the mechanic's like, that's one tough hombre. Oh, it's actually over. Well, we could reopen this place. I'm thinking like a country-style restaurant. It's like, yeah, you get a mechanical bull. People love that. Bring him in. I don't think you go with anything mechanical anymore, but whatever. Then we get
a real bull.
Sarah the Siren. Yeah, you get a real bull. Is right behind her car, who she's fed in, because I guess breaking her neck didn't get the job done. She's fed a rag into the gas tank and lit it on fire and blows it up. Now, the shot of her exploding away from the back of the vehicle, I think is fucking hilarious.
So she just did a suicide bombing?
She's like, look, Willy's dead.
Why?
We're done. She could have survived. I don't know. Don't worry about it. Then we run over Tito as we're driving away.
You say over, I say through.
Yeah, but our car, man. Come on. Tito.
No.
Poor Turtle, though, shouldn't have been in the road. Also, Nic Cage never peed. He drank a lot of Punch Pop.
This soundtrack is so
Soundtrack's,
good.
Yeah.
That's why I bought it. It's so good. So apparently they claim they were using elements from the 2016 conspiracy theory around Pizzagate with the Comet Ping Pong Pizzeria.
That's not what Pizzagate was.
Chef James Alefantis. That's just what it says. I'm just telling you what they're saying.
Well, that's kind of what Pizzagate. So, I mean,
it was a pedophile ring in the basement of.
Sure, but you change it a little bit. You take inspiration, all right?
Okay, but that's like saying, but I'm 90% sure Pizzagate took inspiration from Five Nights at Freddy's.
Sure, of course, yes. It's all time is a loop.
It says, despite similarities, it's not a Five Nights at Freddy's adaptation.
Well, right, because you didn't get the
wink.
Because they had already sold the license to someone else.
Yeah, Blumhouse has it, and they're actually working on their movie right now, which I'll go watch.
I will watch. It has a lot to live up to. Music. I'm always into the music. The ending song to this movie has the lyrics, "Call me crazy, call me insane, love me or leave me, it's all the same. I'll be gone before you get my name." And we never get his name.
That's true.
We never do.
Wow. Well, it's Nic Cage is the.
It's Nick. This is just Nic Cage. This was just Nic Cage. Movies where he plays just Nic Cage are fantastic because he's got an unbearable weight of massive talent that he has to deal with. Okay, go watch that movie if you haven't, but also watch this.
So now, what would your recommendation? Five Nights at Freddy aside,
I would recommend you watch the lore videos for Five Nights at Freddy's.
Okay,
watch almost anything that Nic Cage made around this time if you want just more Nic Cage, because a lot of this would have worked without Nic Cage, but it works so much better with him. Go watch Nic Cage where he's allowed to be his cagiest. Go watch Parents. Go watch Mandy. Color Out of Space isn't going to be as fun Nic Cage, but it's good Nic Cage.
It's solid.
It's a good movie. It's just not kind of wacky like this. Watch The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. It's comedy, but it's still great Nic Cage. Watch Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Sure. Yeah.
Maybe the Garbage Pail Kids movie.
Nah.
You could maybe
that.
do any Child's Play stuff.
Okay.
I mean, if you're just wanting killer dolls and crap like that, Child's Play, Mithrigan.
How does this
watch
rank
Mithrigan
as far as video game adaptations?
Well,
even though it's not an adaptation. I know, but it is. So would you put this above Mortal Kombat?
No.
Oh, I would.
Although I did think the music reminded me of the Mortal Kombat movie.
The Five Nights at Freddy movie will be better to me than the games have been. I'm going to try one of the newer ones and see if they've really...
I think in the newest one, you can make your own levels or something.
Well, that'd be cool. They've got so much... It for such a small, random game, it grew into this massive fucking empire.
It's also a really interesting case of, someone taking criticism for a previous game and then turning that into that. Because for his previous game, someone complained that the characters all looked like demonic animatronics. So then he's like, okay. So then he did that.
I wish I enjoyed them, but they're just not... They're too... I don't even want to say slow-paced. I'm okay with slow-paced game. It's just you're sitting and waiting for something at least in the first couple ones.
Not enough numbers
wrong
going
or something.
up.
I love big numbers, but there's books, there's graphic novels. My 10-year-old loves this universe. Like, I've flipped through some of the graphic novels with her.
A lot of child death, I'll point that out.
I'm fully okay with that because, hey, if she's taken any interest in the genre, I'm going to foster that because I'm not going to force you to like horror, but God, if you're going to show interest in it, I have access to some horror. I'm going to give it to you.
So video game adaptations. I'm going to go Castlevania anime, Last of Us, Mortal Kombat, and then this.
Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah, I was going to say, what were you putting Super Mario Bros?
Oh, that's
also Sonic is
about
really good.
As far down
as far down as
I haven't seen
gravity
Sonic,
will allow.
Nor have I ever played a Sonic game.
This really fucks over the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. They gotta really hope their lore is a good sticking point for people that.
But it's kind of like a case of like why it take you so long?
Yeah, they've been trying to get something going on it forever. I mean, I think the first Five Nights at Freddy's was 2014? I feel like is what I looked up. It's one of those things that's been in development hell. Now, they claim this is one of those scripts that was high on the horror list to get developed. I forget what they call it, like the blood.
It's the blacklist, yeah.
So they've been wanting to develop this for a while, but I don't know when it was actually written. I'm going to assume after 2014. Because, yeah. Watch this movie, and if you really need a Jonesin and you like this kind of thing, it's not going to be as action-packed if you go play Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, it's actually nothing like this movie, yeah.
Yeah, you're not fighting back, I don't think.
It's like Night Trap.
Everyone loves Night Trap.
Try and not know what Night Trap is.
I don't know what Night Trap is.
The old FMV game that was like on, Sega CD or Saturn?
Night Trap is what made all the video game people have to go in front of Congress. That and Mortal Kombat. It's kind of the same thing. You're in a room, you're watching monitors, you're having to hit buttons to spring traps and whatnot.
Night World, Door of Hell. So it's a LAPD officer, takes a job as a head of security at an old apartment building in Bulgaria's capital, Sofia. He soon begins to experience a series of bizarre and terrifying events. Once he begins to delve deeper into the building's sinister history and investigate the shadowy owners and past employees, Brett soon uncovers a malevolent force nestled deep in the bowels of the building that will do anything to be set free into the world. It wasn't an amazing movie, but if you want something closer to, I guess, those games, I think he's sitting there looking at a camera for a lot of it. I don't know. We've given you some good recs. There's probably some good books. Mannequins by Stephen Graham Jones. Ryan won't say that because it makes him feel bad.
I haven't finished it because it makes me sad.
Night of the Mannequins.
Night of the Mannequin. Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Any other book or game recs? Surely there's a game where we go run through and kill haunted things, but we're dumb right now. It's got a 5.5 out of 10. How do you guys feel about that? All at once?
Oh, you say the number all at once? Like our number?
I mean, you guys are clamoring to tell me what you guys feel about the 5.5.
7?
I mean, I don't. Does that mean people generally don't like it or do like it?
Is this a full
10?
scale or is this a video game
5.5
scale?
out of 10.
Okay,
this is IMDb scale.
IMDb uses the full scale because like Croc's like a 3, right? So
Sharkside was a 3, I think.
4. They're all 4s. The only thing that's hit 3 is Cthulhu Sandworm of Dune, okay?
And why did Cthulhu hit 3?
Because I fell asleep. It couldn't get that 4-star.
Son of a bitch.
Was it in focus?
I can see it.
Could I hear
Yes.
what people were saying?
Maybe.
Yes.
Am I pretty sure everyone got paid? Did
Yes.
I fall asleep? There's your big 4 right there, okay?
Were there whole heapings of fish rape?
That's
Yes.
too niche.
To me, a 5.5 is too low. I say a 7.
I said
this
7.
This is a solid,
Yeah, I could say a
fun
7.
horror movie.
Yeah, this is
Give it
good.
a
This
number.
I don't care about numbers.
is banana.
Give it a number.
He gives it 7 pop punches out of 10.
Oh, that's a lot.
Or punch pops.
That's a lot.
It's too much caffeine.
That's a lot.
And this is the part where I jump in here to tell you about our next and final episode before our Spooktober marathon. It's a shift in tones to something a little more serious and with a lot more to chew on. It's 2022's Something in the Dirt, which is, of course, part of the Justin Benson and Aaron Scott Moorhead film universe. So you know it's going to give you something to think about. You know you're going to have complicated characters that you're just not always sure how you feel about. So after you're done liking and subscribing us wherever you're listening to this lovely podcast, you need to go watch Something in the Dirt and then meet back up with us in 2 weeks. Well.
How do we end these things?
I think...
What do we do? I've been your,
Wait, don't fuck it up.
Oh, okay.
Don't pour gas where I pour gas, okay? I've been your horrible host,
Oh boy.
who loves playing pinball, and it's almost a sexual experience for me, Kenny.
I just pulled a hair out of my mouth, Daniel.
I've been your fistful of caffeine to your kisser, Ryan.
Happy birthday, motherfuckers.
It's your birthday.